Hey YouTube, welcome to another episode of News in 2 Minutes, bringing you the news that you need to know every day. Let's begin. A Western-led military attack on Syria is drawing nearer as U.S. officials told news outlets on Monday that the U.S. administration has evidence that Syria's government carried out chemical weapons attacks and would begin laying out the groundwork for military action by disclosing the evidence as early as Tuesday. As Turkey and neighboring nations declared their willingness to take part in missile strikes or other coalition attacks on Syria, Damascus twice threatened Western intervention, saying that any attack would trigger chaos from Syria and its allies and would threaten world peace and security. Multiple Western leaders have discussed a plan to launch coordinated missile strikes into Syria, and we are expecting a finalization of those plans to be made within days. Scientists are finding additional reasons that fish may become less healthy in the near future, saying that global pollution will result in an increase in mercury, which may cause heart disease, among a number of other ailments. We expect to see an influx in scientific data detailing why eating fish may become less healthy in the near future, without mentioning that thousands of tons of radioactive water are being poured into the ocean from the stricken Fukushima nuclear power plant. In related news, days after the Tokyo Electric Power Company conceded to needing the world's help to contain radiation at the Fukushima nuclear power plant, Russia reiterated an offer that it had made over 2 years ago, welcoming TEPCO's decision to seek outside assistance and vowing to help with what could prove to be one of the world's worst nuclear disasters. Governments around the world, understanding that feeding their citizens is key to retaining power, are rushing to introduce state-driven food programs, as evident with India's lower house of parliament passing a controversial food security bill that aims to provide government-sponsored food to nearly 2/3 of the population. The desperation of the times is apparent in Congress Party Chairman Sonia Gandhi's statement when asked if India had the resources to continue such a bill, as she was only able to reply that the country has little choice but to manage the resources to make it possible. A Moscow newspaper is reporting that intelligence leaker Edward Snowden was in contact with Russian authorities while still in Hong Kong, adding proof to a number of theories that suggest, at least in the open front, Cold War tactics are still alive and well. And to wrap things up, Mexican authorities are suggesting that sabotage may be the reason for Sunday's train crash. Argentina will offer a bond swap on restructured sovereign debt in an attempt to avoid the impact of U.S. court rulings. Authorities in Kyrgyzstan have quarantined more than 100 people after a teenage boy died in the country's first case of bubonic plague in over 30 years. And a 5.1 in Russia and a widely felt 4.2 in Nevada complete today's Quake Watch. And that's it for this episode of News in 2 Minutes. Check back tomorrow for more news that the aware need the most. This week's News in 2 Minutes is brought to you by SHTFplan.com, where even the officials go for news, and SQmetals.com for all your precious metal needs.